Hi, my name is Carrie Price, and I am a graduate student at Morningside College, and this is for the class EDUC 522. And I am going to be talking about my project that was implementing ePortfolios to increase communication and share progress between the home and the school. So there is a pretty large problem in place that concerns the two-way communication with the home and the school, especially the home of special education students, is what we're looking at right here. Not all parents have access to technology, and at times they can be just uneducated on how to use it. So we know that lack of communication between the home and school can cause academic and social behavioral delays, and those challenges can increase, or they can even just stay the same instead of making sure that we are closing the gap between those so they get better. A number of schools are also deficient with activities used to encourage this parental involvement. So, people, um, the parents wanting to have school fairs, different meetings, different school family nights, using websites and different forms of communication. So a lot of schools aren't able to or haven't put any of those in place yet. So there is a real problem out there with the use of two-way communication between the home and school. So I went out to kind of look at some different literature to see exactly what I could find about the two-way communication. So I found that the significant difference the significance between parent-teacher communication and conjoint behavioral consultation. So this is looking at delays or social behavioral challenges that a student faces, and there is a big connection between these two. And when it's better, when that communication is there, obviously behavioral challenges seem to be less. Um, I also found that the sense of belonging to a community and that a community provides benefits and responsibilities has a growing appreciation, and parents want to be involved. And when they are involved, they just feel like they are more of that community within the school. I also found that when parents feel respected and as equal partners, those relationships grow, and then we see that improvement of the student and some of those behaviors decrease. And the last thing that I found there that I felt like was really important was that partnerships, encouraging feedback, and clear communication, they are all vital elements when strengthening this two-way communication. And parents just, once again, feel more involved and aware of everything that's going on in their child's day. So these are just a few of the things that I found, but a lot of the literature that I found said the same thing. There has to be more research done to explain how to improve this two-way communication with, especially with the use of technology in the home of special education students. So I went on to form an implementation plan, and unfortunately, I was only able to complete 1 week of my implementation. But within that 1 week, I met with a committee. I sent messages out, and I had people come to be on this committee. When we met during this time, we came up with a survey that was going to be given to parents, so we could kind of see how they felt about their involvement and if they felt like they were a part of their own child's education. And so at that first meeting, we met to, like I said, discuss questions to put on this survey. We also formed a time that we would meet, and we wanted to bring parents in because we just felt like we would be able to better explain some of the things that we wanted to put into place with an e-portfolio, and kind of what the benefits would be to that. So we also felt like it would be really beneficial to bring the parents in because then we could actually help them complete the survey if needed. So we really had the information that we needed to move forward with this. So like I said, unfortunately, I was only able to do 1 week. of the implementation plan. But when we go back in the fall of 2020, my plan is to get the committee together. We already have the questions that we need for the survey. So we'll get the committee together. We'll just make sure that survey is up to date and completed. And then we will also find another date to have parents come into the school to kind of talk about all of these things. We might even do it on possibly even the back to school night when we go back. So then from there, we'll hold the parent meeting. This was in the second week of the implementation plan. We'll hold the parent meeting. We'll provide all that information and complete the survey. We will also go ahead and start designing the ePortfolio. We have decided to use the Google Apps, and all students have a Gmail account. And so this is kind of an easy way. Google Apps has multiple different things that we can use on there. And it's a really easy way for parents to log in and see their students' progress and for their students to share things with them. So the staff will begin to form a layout using Google Docs, and this will help include directions to help parents understand how to navigate the ePortfolio. So those directions will be sent to parents via email, and we can also send it with a message and a link using ClassDojo, and then we can also put it onto the school website. In the third week, the students and the teachers are really going to start using the ePortfolio in the classroom. So they'll use their Chromebooks, they'll be able to log into the Google Apps, and the teacher is really going to be doing a lot of modeling with the students doing it at the same time. So they can just really start to navigate and kind of figure out how all of the apps are going to work. And then just to kind of try it out, they're going to use Google Docs, and they're going to write a letter to their parents or whoever at home, just kind of telling them about, you know, what they're doing now in school using these Google Apps for their ePortfolio, and just kind of how they feel about that. And then we'll send a letter and an email home to remind parents to look at their students' work, and then the parents can either respond back with that, or they don't have to either. They can just kind of talk with their child about it at home. In the fourth week, we will continue to have students complete classwork using those Google Apps. Communication will be made for parents to check their students' ePortfolio, and then alert will be shared or sent to the parents if something is shared with them. So if their student does have something posted, then that will get sent to the parents so they can make sure to keep on checking that. And then we're going to send a SurveyMonkey to staff. We want to ask questions about the use of the ePortfolios. We want to know if they think it's working, if it's, you know, only doing it for this many weeks, but we can kind of get the feel for whether or not they think this is something that has a positive effect so far. So some things could go wrong during this implementation plan. Using technology, we know that sometimes parents might not have technology available to them at home. If they're using their phone, they might not have phone service. Maybe their hours are different, so we're not coinciding all the time. So trying to find that balance. Maybe you don't have any working Wi-Fi. And then we always have a lot of language barriers, especially in the district that I work in. We have a very diverse population, so we definitely want to make sure that we are looking at different ways to communicate with all of the parents. So some of the things that I hope to find from this implementation plan, I hope to find increased teacher ownership. The teacher has to be an advocate and a listener, an educator, problem solver, along with so many other things for these students. We want the staff and the teachers to use data that drives their decisions. So we want them to make sure that they are receiving this input from the home and taking these parent suggestions and really rolling with it to figure out a way that's really going to make their ePortfolio program and work within their classroom. So high amounts of teacher ownership is needed to roll out this system and for us to see success. So that is the first finding that I'm hoping to find. The next one is that we are able to identify these barriers of home and school communication. So we know that there's constantly going to be barriers, but what are the things that we can do to make those barriers decrease? So the surveys and helping the parents complete the surveys, whether or not we're emailing them, we're calling them, maybe even sending them a message on ClassDojo. So because in our literature, we know that communication and collaboration are key components to increase the student achievement, regardless of the socioeconomic status of students and parents. Like, we can't think of their socioeconomic status and think, oh, well, they don't have that information, they don't have the resources, and just stop that communication. We need to communicate with parents no matter what and find a way around those barriers. And I'm also hopeful that after finding these barriers, that we're able to put in a written policy identifying the barriers. And so that's just in place within the school that we can go back to. My last thing that I'm hopeful for is a successful use of an e-portfolio in the classroom and school-wide, really. I just want to see that use of the e-portfolio strengthening parent and teacher communication, and providing data that parents feel more informed and aware of their child's experiences and progress in the school. Because literature states that effective two-way communication is important, but many parents feel they are more informed than communicated with, and therefore a lack of interconnectedness between home and school is felt. We do not want that. My hope is for after this implementation plan is done, that parents do feel that they are not just more informed, but they are communicated with and they have a big part and a big say in their child's education. So my conclusion, so what I learned from EDUC 522, I learned that 21st century learners need to be taught using 21st century technologies. Sometimes technology can be really scary, and it's hard to implement that when we know that sometimes there's an easier way around it. But in actuality, once we get the technology going, then a lot of times it's easier on us in the classroom. So technology is constantly changing, and we in education need to transform teaching in a way that our students can learn. And technology available within the school is important, so to make it a priority. So don't just sit back and just say, oh man, it'd be really nice if we had these different things within our school, but reaching out to the administration and other people to get those things in place in your school. So some of the different things that I learned with the project up to my implementation, I learned that organization, time management, and communication are huge key elements for the project to be successful. Without any of those things, this will not be successful. I also learned that parents want to be involved, so let's let them be involved. We want parents to be involved as much as possible, so just keep reaching out until they feel like they are part of that community. And the last thing I learned is just to not give up. So make changes and keep pushing, because especially when we're using technology, sometimes things happen, but you just have to keep pushing through it until you are able to succeed. So I really enjoyed this class, and I am hopeful that I'll be able to put this implementation in place next fall, and I will see some of these results that I'm hoping for. Thank you.